We left Goose Bay early in the morning.
We took off, and we got the ice just when they thought we were going to get it.
We'd had great conditions over the water leg, but as we approached the west coast of Greenland, we could see that the forecasts were accurate and that there were some low cloud layers. Our arrival into Narsarsuaq was not a beautiful VFR condition.
Narsarsuaq is an interesting airport because it's at the east end of a fjord that splits just before you get to the airport. When we got just to the point of the split, it was all fogged in.
Looks pretty blind down there. Let's make a right turn and we'll climb up a little bit, go over this layer, assuming that they're broken.
At that point, we climbed out of the fjord and set up for an instrument approach.
Narsarsuaq radio 8336 Charlie. 36 Charlie, Narsarsuaq, everything cleared. We're about 25 miles out, and we're circling back out, and we're going to climb in, possibly do the NDB approach. 36 Charlie, report November Alpha. Okay, report passing November Alpha, 36 Charlie.
An IFR approach is, instrument meteorological conditions, and an approach is a preset series of waypoints and altitudes that we follow with the aircraft. So we will go from A to B to C, descend to this altitude at C.
And the approach is 6,800.
Continue on to D, descend again.
We're going to go IMC.
It's quite common, we do it often, but it does require a little more concentration. It does require a different set of skills.
Yeah, I think we're going to be between layers.
Having flown visually into Narsarsuaq on a number of occasions, your mind and imagination does start to paint pictures of those mountains and glaciers that surround you at that point.
Terrain ahead.
265 on the heading, looking good. Here's your course. Thank you.
You have to have confidence in your abilities and your equipment.
36 Charlie, passing November Alpha, outbound for the course reversal. November 36 Charlie, report training final runway 06.
At that point, there was a break in the clouds, and we saw the airport and were able to land.
Yeah, I can see the field. Okay, give me 1/4 flaps. 1/4 flaps. Okay, give me the gear down. Gear's coming down.
Didn't go as smoothly as we had hoped.
36 Charlie, we're a right base for 06, full stop. November 36 Charlie, roger, no report of traffic, runway 06. Okay, full flaps. Full flaps.
But it went, we got there safely and so forth. There was just a little bit more flying and maneuvering to be done before we got on the ground.
And your wing, you're good. Your right wing is good. And stop.
The purpose of the stop at Narsarsuaq was refueling, which was essential because even the winds weren't strong enough from the west for us to get enough ground speed to make it all the way to Iceland safely from Goose Bay. Narsarsuaq in Greenland in general is not a place where you want to be delayed because of the changeability of the weather there. It's very easy to get stuck in Narsarsuaq due to weather for a week at a time. Anytime you're in Narsarsuaq, the main goal is to leave again as soon as possible.
Narsarsuaq is really the heart and soul of the Blue Spruce route. It was carved out of the rock in 1942 for the sole purpose of supporting the North Atlantic ferry route. It is quite mythical. During World War II, it was huge. They had several runways. They had dozens of buildings and hangars. They had maintenance and logistical centers and a hospital even. Narsarsuaq is one of those places where everything is either flown in and nothing ever leaves. There's a lot of very atmospheric history. It's a special place to be from an aviation perspective, and it's a special place to be from a historic perspective. It's one of those places that quite possibly won't exist for very much longer. The aircraft that would have visited Narsarsuaq during World War II would have been, many and very different types. The North Atlantic route was used to move combat aircraft to Europe. The B-17 Flying Fortresses, the B-24 Liberators, the P-38 Lightnings. And then the later models of the P-51 were flown over also. And then, of course, it was also the primary resupply route for men and material. So there would have been C-47s, C-53s, and then the C-54, which was really the aircraft that was almost purpose-built as a military transport, a long-range military transport. In the very early part of the war, the U.S. Army Air Force crews did not have experience or training in long-range navigation. So a lot of the aircraft, particularly the early DC-3s that were requisitioned for war service, were pressed into service as logistical transport across the North Atlantic, and they were operated with civil crews. It was the airlines of the United States, it was those air crews that had the long-range navigation experience. At the outbreak of the Second World War, most of the Allied armies had been significantly reduced. So a lot of the early trips across the Atlantic would have been in civil aircraft with civil crews.
Since that time, Narsarsuaq has only existed to support transatlantic traffic. There's very little local population. The permanent population there is about 75 people. In the summer, it grows to about 125 people, but that's it. And their only source of work and support is to be able to take care of the airport and support airplanes that fly back and forth. Ole, who was one of the ramp agents there, came out to the airplane and with big ceremony decided that he wanted to make a present to us of something that he thought that we should have.
I don't know if you know the story, but in 1941, you guys built an Air Blue West 1 here, which started flying here with an aircraft from 1942 until 1958 when the Danes took over. In that time, I guess, what was your favorite activity during those years? I think one thing you brought from home was maybe a beer or maybe Coca-Cola.
The soldiers,
Yeah, sure. Coca-Cola. And when you have finished your Coca-Cola, what did you do then? You get rid of the bottle. I do not have a souvenir from Greenland, but I have something to return to you guys. That means that the soldiers who are here, they finished the Coca-Cola and then they throw it into the seas. I found these bottles last week.
No kidding.
Yeah, and if you
God.
look at the path and number, they are
wow.
produced from the 1940s to 50s,
Oh,
if you look
my
it up on the internet. So, no souvenir, but a return for you.
Oh, thank you.
When I came here last year, first time, the locals told me, oh, you can go to the beach and find old Coca-Cola bottles. I said, yeah, that's right. But it's true. When it's low tide, they're still there 80 years later.
Sorry for that.
You're welcome. That's a small story.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It was a very funny moment.
Narsarsuaq was supposed to be just a fueling stop.
But the aircraft had other plans. We were on the ground in Narsarsuaq. That leg had gone great. We'd taken on fuel. We filed a flight plan for the next leg to Reykjavik. We climbed into the aircraft, shut the door, ran our checklists, and went into our start procedure. And
Narsarsuaq from Douglas 8336 Charlie.
November 36 Charlie, Narsarsuaq Airways.
Looks like we've got a mechanical issue here, fuel pressure indication we need to investigate. We'll be shutting down here for a while.
November 36 Charlie, roger.
here we are sitting on the ground in Narsarsuaq, probably one of the most remote fields on our entire journey, with a fairly significant mechanical issue. Again. It's not difficult to troubleshoot the problem. It's fairly obvious what our problem is. It's the boost pump. The boost pump is an electric motor with a mechanical fuel pump bolted to it. We allow for this kind of failure, and we were carrying a spare on the aircraft.
We went to change the fuel boost pump, which should be a 30-minute, hour-long process.
When Tyler and Paul connected the fuel pump to the ship's battery, it didn't operate. didn't operate at all.
Why this pump wasn't working. We switched pumps from side to side. We switched plumbing from side to side. We were trying to draw from different tanks. We came up with everything we could think of to try to troubleshoot why the fuel pump wasn't working on the left side.
We're in the North Atlantic in the spring, and our initial efforts were in snow, right? There was actually snow falling. Changing this and trying that and doing this and calling this person. We're also, of course, talking to a number of people. This problem that we're experiencing is something that we haven't necessarily seen before.
By the end of day 1 and midway through day 2, we run out of ideas.
Doesn't make sense.
It makes absolutely no fucking sense at all.
No. I was exhausted. We'd been putting in 14-hour days trying to troubleshoot these systems. It was confusion, really. It was becoming frustrating.
My sensation at that time is definitely what we call resignation. I am resigned to the fact that we are now firmly behind schedule. All of the other aircraft have overtaken us. Some of those aircraft are now making landfall in the United Kingdom, 2 days ahead of us now. We can do nothing but accept that we are going to be late. I'm just at this point having fairly heated discussions with the airplane herself, trying to understand what on earth is going on here and prepare us for what lies ahead. But at the same time, I think there's a sense of acceptance. We're still here, we're still in the game, we're working as hard as we possibly can. Everybody on the trip is pulling their weight, there is no weak link. Here we are wrapping up day 3 in Narsarsuaq, and it was Tyler that actually came up with the solution, with the idea that this was our problem.